Hello lovelies, and ahoy from the grandeur of the seas. We are so excited for day number 2. Today is Sunday, August 10th, and we are having our first full day at sea. I am so excited to share a little bit about our experience from yesterday and all of the fun things that we have in store for today as well. Today is going to be another just chatty get ready with me as I just share some about our vacation and our trip and our experience here on this beautiful Royal Caribbean ship. So come along with me and let's make up the rules. So yesterday was our embarkation day. So we came out of the port of Tampa. So we were able to yesterday, before we even came to get on our ship, we stopped by Walmart. We got Dylan some flip-flops. We were able to pick those up pretty easily, and then got over to the port, and we had a check-in time scheduled for 12 noon, and we pulled into the parking garage I think about 11:30 a.m. So we were here in plenty of time to be able to park, unload, stress-free, be able to walk in and get onto the ship. And so we were able to actually purchase our parking tickets for the parking garage online on the Port of Tampa website, and so that was super easy. On their website they actually have all of the available cruises listed, so you're able to just go on and find your particular cruise listed on there, and then it has all of the days and everything on there, and so you don't have to worry about trying to figure out which days you need to mark and what you need to pay for. It's all included on your particular ship's itinerary. So we were able to choose our ship and our cruise dates, and then it just went ahead and scheduled us from August 9th to August 16th, and so that was super easy to be able to do that online. We were seeing on the Royal Caribbean website that you are supposed to just show up and get your parking paid for the day of your cruise, but of course we just wanted to have all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed, and we didn't want to have any questions. We didn't want to show up and maybe the parking garage might be too full. Other people had already gotten there, so we went ahead and wanted to do that online, and it was a really easy process. We were able to get that booked, and so when we arrived at the parking garage, we had previously booked the ticket and printed out a ticket online, and when we pulled up, there's just a little barcode on that ticket, and so they have attendants there at the entrance to the parking garage, and so they are super friendly. It was a really nice first encounter for our trip. A great person that we worked with, and she was able to take the ticket and scan it for us, gave us some directions, so that was really helpful, and we were able to just go ahead and get checked in. And then we just found a spot pretty easily. They had people throughout the parking garage giving directions, and so we found a spot and got all parked and everything, unloaded our luggage, and we're able to walk over to the port terminal after that. It was pretty much right across the street, so it's really helpful. It's really convenient there, and we were able to just go ahead and get parked and walk right over. So we loaded up our luggage. We had a couple of suitcases and a few carry-on items, and so we just walked those across the street. And of course, when you're walking across the street, you see other cruise guests as you're going, and so you're able to just start kind of getting into the spirit of the vacation with other people that you see along the way. So we made our way over to the port, and the very first thing that you're able to do is go ahead and drop off your suitcases. So that makes it very easy to just go ahead and just drop those off, so you don't have to worry about them as you're going through. Of course, if you want to keep your suitcases with you, you're more than welcome to, but that is definitely a lot of extra luggage that you're carrying around with you as you are boarding the ship. And throughout the port of Tampa anyway, there are several escalators that you have to go through. I didn't notice, but I believe there were elevators as well, but it is just a lot of walking and kind of squeezing through some tight spaces, especially for our ship. I think we are at full capacity this week, so there were quite a few people who were coming with us, and so are going through the process with us. So we definitely were grateful to be able to drop off our luggage and not have to worry about rolling suitcases through all of the security, and as we were getting onto the ship, and then even once we were on the ship as well. So definitely being able to check your luggage was very helpful. The attendants that were there were very friendly. He caught us as soon as we walked up, and he's let us know that he could take our luggage for us, and he also let us know that tips are appreciated for it. And we had done some research before, and we were prepared for that. So Dylan had a little bit of cash on him that we were able to go ahead and provide a tip for that service that they provide for us. So we went ahead and dropped off our bags, and at that point, I think it was about 11:45 or so, and we were not sure how strict they might be on the check-in time. So we found an attendant there, and we asked her, and she said that coming in at 11:45 was fine, and as long as we had our boarding passes and all of our documentation and everything out and ready to go. So we just stepped over to the side and pulled out, we just took our driver's licenses and birth certificates with us. So we pulled those out and had everything ready to go, and we had printed the set sail passes before we came. Just we didn't want to end up standing in the port and trying to check in, and then our apps on our phone weren't going to load or weren't going to work properly. We weren't sure what the connection would be like inside the port, so we went ahead and just printed those ahead of time, and that was great. It was really easy. We just had the barcode on the set sail pass, so as we were going through the security, they were able just to scan the barcode for us over and over several times, and that allowed us to just be able to go through that process really easily. So I definitely would recommend printing ahead of time. We just brought a folder with us. We had our boarding passes, our birth certificates, our parking pass, all the documentation that we needed for the trip. We just put it all into one folder and guarded that folder with our lives, and made sure that we just had everything with us quickly and easily readily available, so that we could just pull it out, give it to them, and then move on, because it is a great system that Royal Caribbean has. They really want to get people through very quickly, and so they're very, very efficient. So definitely having everything ready to go and just being prepared for each step of the process really helps them, and it really helps you to be able to just get through the process and then get on the ship as quickly as possible. So we went through the security, and every single person that we encountered was very friendly. We had several people tell us to enjoy our cruise, have a great time, have a great week. All of the security personnel, they were super friendly. So it was definitely a great experience just getting on the ship. When you're going through a lot of security, like at the airport, it can be kind of stressful. Everything's very fast. You're just moving through. You're just kind of getting shuffled through with everybody else. So it can be a little intimidating going through that process, but they really make it very easy, very simple, and make you very comfortable as you're going through. So we had several people who were very kind to us and really helped us out, and we were able to just get through that whole check-in process very seamlessly. There were no issues going through. And then once we got through the check-in process and the security, then we were able to take our first photo. So we did purchase one of the photo packages beforehand when it was on a discount through the app, and so we were able to take our very first picture. They had a little backdrop right there in the port that has a picture of the ship out on the sea, and you can just step in front of it and take a photo with it. So we went ahead and got our very first picture, and then we went ahead and got on the ship. It is really cool. You just kind of walk through the gangplank or the gangway, and you can tell right when you are stepping onto the ship, it turns into the wood for the deck that you're stepping onto. And so it's just a really cool experience just to be walking through, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, we're not on land anymore, we are on the ship. So it's really a lot of fun just to finally get there. And then as soon as you get on the ship, they have some personnel there and they help to direct you to where you need to go. And of course, one of the first things that you need to do when you arrive on the ship is go and check in for your muster drill. So we went straight over there and did that. It was a really quick and easy process. We just went. We had our boarding passes, so the gentleman that was running our muster drill, he helped us and a couple of other people that were in our group to go ahead and scan our boarding passes, and then he gave us just a very brief, just a safety briefing, just very quickly, just let us know pretty much everything that we had already seen on the app, on the little videos that they provided ahead of time. So we were prepared for that, and then we were able to just go ahead and finish that up, get it checked off, and then move on to the rest of our vacation. So very quick, very easy process getting on the ship and doing the muster drill, and then it is time for the fun parts. So I did mention yesterday during my video that the first thing that we were going to do was go over to the dining room and check on where our table was located and all the information about our table. And so we did that. We went over and talked to a gentleman that worked in there, and we went in and we asked where our table was going to be located and if we were going to be seated with other guests, because Dylan and I just preferred to be at a table, just the two of us, and so we wanted to see if that might be an option. We were really glad that we went over there, because when we talked to him, he let us know that we were going to be at a table for 6 people, and I'm not sure if that table was going to be full and if we'd be seated with 4 other guests, but I don't know, Dylan and I are just pretty introverted, and we just kind of wanted to have our own seat and just be able to enjoy our cruise together, just the two of us. And so we asked if it was at all possible for us to be moved to another table, and just for us. And so we waited for a couple minutes while he just looked through the system and checked to see if there were any availabilities, and thankfully there were. So he was able to find a table for 2 for us and go ahead and change that reservation. And so our table number was printed on our seat pass, and so our room key. And so we ended up having to, because we got a different table, we went ahead and have just a little piece of paper that has our table number on it now. And so we don't use the same table that's still printed on our pass, but that's okay. We were really glad to be able to get a different table. And not only was it a different table that we wanted, but also it ended up changing our dining time. So we originally ended up, because we booked our cruise a little bit late, ended up with the late dining that was going to be around 7:45 or 8 o'clock. But because we ended up getting a different table during our conversation in the dining room, we ended up getting a 5 o'clock dinner. So that was kind of nice. I was kind of planning for us to do the later dinner, so we definitely have to kind of readjust some of our plan and just kind of how our flow of our cruise is going to go. But we were really glad to get that table for 2. It is pretty much right by the window. It's just a little, it's the second row in, that we've got a great view out the window. It's just the 2 of us, so it's a really great table, and we're really excited to have that one reserved for us for the entire trip. So once we got everything squared away in the dining room, it was time for something that Dylan and I had been looking forward to for several weeks since we booked our trip, and that was our first meal on the ship. We went ahead and decided to do the buffet. We really wanted to go and just try all of the delicious foods and really just get a taste of what all they have to offer on the ship. So we went over to the Windjammer Marketplace and went ahead and found that pretty easily and quickly. The app is great with the deck maps, so you can find your way around really easily. And of course, it is their smallest ship for Royal Caribbean, and so it's not terribly large, so it's pretty easy to find your way around, walk around, and just to navigate the ship. So we made our way over to the Windjammer. and it was busy. We were definitely not the only ones that had that idea to go over there for lunch first thing. At this point, it was about 12:30, which was great. We got through the entire process very quickly and were able to get on the ship pretty early and go ahead and get our cruise started. So around 12:30, we ended up in the Windjammer, and we were just trying to find somewhere to sit, which we did have 3 carry-on bags with us, so it was very tight walking around. It was a little stressful just trying to find an open table. Anytime there was a family that would get up and move from their table, of course several of us were looking, so you definitely had to be quick and try to grab a table when one came available. Thankfully, it is a buffet, so people are moving in and out pretty quickly. But we were walking around for several minutes trying to find a table, and eventually, finally, we saw a family get up, and we hustled over as quickly as we could with all our bags and luggage and everything, and were able to snag the table even while their plates and everything were still there. So thankfully the attendants in the restaurant are wonderful. They are very quick, very helpful, and so we had someone come over and clear the table off for us, and we were able to get settled in. So we had a 4-chair table, and a couple of those were for all of our bags, and then a couple of them were for us. So we kind of just sat down and were able to just take a breather, and it definitely was a lot of kind of moving around and running around as soon as we got to the port and up until we finally sat down for lunch. So we definitely just wanted to take a minute, catch our breath, and just enjoy actually being on the ship. It was pretty warm. We of course are sailing in August, so it was definitely a bit of a warm day, and all of that moving around and carrying our carry-ons and everything, we were sweating pretty good. It was pretty hot, and with the ship, I think just sitting in the port, they didn't have a whole lot of air blowing, so we were warm sitting there. And so I have a little handheld fan that I brought, was just fanning myself, and Dylan had some papers that he was fanning himself as well, and just took a minute to cool down. But thankfully, for all guests on the ship, they have plenty of water, so we got some waters, got hydrated again, and then it was time to eat. So we took turns leaving our luggage at our table, holding the plate, and one of us staying there and the other one going up to the buffet. But we were able to go and get our plates, and all of the food was delicious. It was so good. We were really excited to get to try it. I'd heard some kind of mixed reviews on Royal Caribbean food, but we thought the food was excellent. It was really good, and they had a great variety of different kinds of foods. They had foods that were more family, kid oriented. They had more adult oriented type foods, so it was really nice to have some variety and get to try a bunch of different things, and get to try out the food on the ship for the first time. So we had a really good lunch. It was really nice just to sit down, enjoy the food. They did have someone coming on the overhead speaker several times and saying that the Windjammer was, I think, the busiest ship or the busiest restaurant on the seas or something like that, and they were asking guests to not linger at the tables, to move on when they were finished eating, and so we were grateful for that. We were looking for a table, and of course we tried to move on as quickly as we could after we ate as well, but thankfully by the time we were finishing up our meal, the crowd had kind of started to lighten up, and there weren't quite as many people in the restaurant at that time. So we finished up our lunch and enjoyed that time together. And then by the time we were done with our lunch, they also made an announcement that the rooms were available. So that was nice. We were definitely kind of dreading carrying our carry-on all over the ship with us. So we were excited to be able to go and drop all of that off, get to see our room, and just go ahead and be able to enjoy the rest of the time just with our arms and our hands free. So we went ahead and just came over to our cabin. We are on deck 2 of the ship, and you can see a little bit of our cabin here, and I will also post a video on here as well. that I took when we first came into the room, just walking in, just so you can see a little bit of what it looks like. We are in an inside stateroom. It's 2609. It's a really nice little room. It's pretty small, it's pretty tight, but it is nice, and it's good just for the two of us. So we were able to go ahead and get into our room and get everything just kind of set down. We had a few minutes just to kind of sit down and just cool down. Because like I said, it was pretty warm when we first got on the ship, and once we were able to really sit down in our room and finally kind of cool off, that helped for the rest of the day. We weren't quite as warm going forward. So we just took a few minutes just to take a little rest in our cabin, just to just kind of take it in and just see what it's like in here. And then we were ready to go and explore the ship at that point. So we went ahead and just went and kind of gave ourselves a little tour of the ship. We just went, we took the stairs and went from deck to deck all the way up to the top, and just checked out everything there was between here and the top. And so we really enjoyed getting to just check everything out and just see what all amenities and everything they have on the ship. So we were able to see the Centrum. That's kind of their main promenade kind of area where they have a lot of events. They have game shows and games and things in there that they'll do. A lot of live music, which we got to see a lot of yesterday, which was really nice, and I think we'll probably get to see quite a bit of throughout the week. So we got to see that. It's beautiful. It is so nice. It's just got that cruise ship elegance to it, which is always just so nice to see and be a part of. So we definitely enjoyed getting to do that. And then we really enjoyed getting to go around and just see the different lounge areas and the different seating areas. So we went into the Palladium Theater, and we were able to, it was pretty empty in there. There were just a few people in there just kind of checking it out. So we went in there and just were able to look at the different seating options they have. It does have a couple of balconies, so you can sit up higher above the stage, or you can sit on the floor level, and they have different types of seats in there. And Dylan and I were really excited. They have some little kind of love seat type seats that seat two people, so we were able to find some of those and just kind of have a seat for a few minutes. They had some of the safety videos playing on the screens in there, so we just kind of sat and watched those and just kind of cuddled up on the little love seat. And it was really nice with hardly anybody in the theater with us, just to enjoy that time and just to get to sit in there for a few minutes. So we checked that out, and then we also went and kind of walked through Schooner's Bar and just checked that out. It's really cool. It's got a really cool nautical theme in there, so that was really neat to see. And then we also went through that and went over to one of the lounge areas, and it is a really nice lounge area, and we were able to just go in there. There was hardly anyone in there too. They have really pretty just piano music playing, and so we were able to just kind of grab a seat in there and just chill for a few minutes. And it was really nice too, just being in there with the music playing, and they have a little dance floor, and so Dylan and I were just able to grab a quick little dance together, and just kind of a really quiet, kind of empty area. So that was really nice and really sweet. We enjoyed having that time together. So that was the South Pacific Lounge that we were hanging out in and having our little dance in. And then after that, we were able to go up to the pool deck and check that out, and just get to see everybody out there already swimming and having a good time. And we got to see the walking track that they have on the upper deck. So it was really nice just to be able to catch some of the sun and get to see that. And then we were able to also go to a fun little activity that they had. They were doing the art team on board. They were doing a little scavenger hunt, and so what they would do is they gave everyone that participated a piece of paper that had 20 different art piece names listed on it, and then they had all of the art pieces over in their little area there. And so what you would do is each of the art pieces was numbered, So you could go around and you could guess based on the painting what the name was, and you'd write the number of the painting next to the name that you were guessing. So Dylan and I had a great time doing that little scavenger hunt. It was really fun, and I thought it was a great way for the guests to get to see the different art pieces and to get to see what's available, because they are going to have some auctions and things, which Dylan and I won't really participate in. We're not that big of art buffs, but it was still fun just to get to see the art pieces and to get to play a little game like that. And they also had a raffle, and they were giving away a few items, and so they had several different drawings with that. And Dylan and I ended up getting 2 tickets for the raffle each. And so while they were doing the drawings, I didn't win any, but Dylan actually won an item with both of his raffle tickets. So he won twice, but when he won twice, he won the same item twice. And unfortunately, it wasn't anything that we really were interested in. It was a $50 gift card to the spa here on board, and then a $100 off on your first bid at the art auction, which, like I said, we're not planning to go to the art auction. And then the spa, we don't have any reservations there, and I think now that we're on board, it's probably too late to even make a reservation, but that's not something we're planning or wanting to do anyway, because even if we have the $50 off, it still is going to be an extra cost we don't really want to spend. But so we're gonna see if we can find maybe some other people as we're walking around, or we might leave the tickets somewhere and let somebody find them and be able to take those and use them, since that's something we're not planning to use. But it was still cool that he won twice. It's always fun when your number gets picked on a raffle. So we definitely had a fun time going over to the art area and participating in all of that. And then we also went over to the sail away party at 4 o'clock. They were having up on the top deck, and so it was really cool just to be up on the top deck and watch out at the port of Tampa as we were pulling out, and just to be able to see the ship just start moving away from the port. So that was a lot of fun just to go out there and see that. We are definitely not big party people, so we weren't really terribly interested in being down there where everyone was dancing and there was loud music, but we really did enjoy just going out there and getting to actually be a part of the sail away itself. So that was a lot of fun, just getting to see that. And then after that, we just kind of went and continued just exploring the ship, hanging out, checking things out. And then one of our favorite parts of yesterday was when we were sitting at one of the seats over by one of the windows, and we looked out and we saw the sun setting, and we were going, oh my goodness, that's so pretty out the window. But the window was a little foggy and kind of scratched up, so it was really hard to see it. And I told Dylan, let's go out on the deck and let's go look at it. And we went out, and oh my goodness, it was beautiful. It was so stunning over the water with all of the sunlight on the water. It was so beautiful, and we definitely were not the only ones who noticed. As soon as we went out there, a whole bunch of people came out with us, and we were all taking pictures and videos and everything. And thankfully, we offered to take another couple's photo, and then they offered to take ours as well. So we got some really pretty pictures out there on the water by the sunset. So that was just a really nice moment. And then while we were out there, we were looking out at the water, and we started seeing dolphins cresting on the water as well. So it was really cool just to see the dolphins jumping with the sunset. It was a perfect just moment on our first day of our cruise. It was definitely very magical. So that was definitely one of my favorite parts of yesterday. And then after we did that, it was getting pretty close to 5 o'clock. So we went ahead and went over to the main dining room and got ready for dinner. It was really easy and quick just to go in, find our table, and our table is pretty much right inside the dining room, so that's pretty nice. It's pretty easy just to get to it. and we have a great server and a great assistant server, so they were really kind and really very helpful to us as we were placing our orders and deciding what we wanted. There were a lot of really yummy sounding choices. Of course, we could only pick just a few, and so we ended up I got the tomato soup and Dylan got the spinach and artichoke dip for our appetizers, and they were both pretty good. The tomato soup was good. It was probably my least favorite thing of the whole meal, but it was still good. And Dylan's artichoke dip was really good as well. And then while we were enjoying our appetizers, our server brought over a crab cake, and he told us that he thought we would enjoy it, and that was something that neither one of us maybe would have ordered, but we thought, okay, well, if he brought it to us, we'll be adventurous and we'll try it. And we did, and it was so good. It was the best of the 3 appetizers. It was delicious. We were really grateful that he brought that over to us. So we got to try something new and be a little adventurous on our cruise here. And so we really enjoy getting to do that. The main courses, we ended up getting 3. We each got 1, and then we got a 3rd one to share. So I ended up ordering the prime rib, which was so good. It came with a nice sauce, the mashed potatoes that were delicious. The meat itself was really tender. It was really good. And then Dylan got a roasted chicken that was in au jus sauce, and it had some little potato wedges with it. It was really good. He said it was one of the best chickens he ever had. It was really juicy, so that was a great meal. And then we also ordered the fish fillet and shared that one. That was probably our least favorite out of the 3, but it was still really good. It came with some corn with peppers in it and some snap peas, so it was, and some potatoes au gratin, so it was a really good meal as well, and we enjoyed getting to share those 3 together. And then, of course, to finish off our meal, we got some desserts. We ended up getting 3 total as well. I ordered the Boston cream pie, and it was really good. It had a nice chocolate layer on the top. The cake itself was a little bit spongy, and then it had some nice cream with it as well, so that was really good. And then Dylan got the just plain New York cheesecake that had a nice strawberry on it, and it was one of the freshest strawberries. It was so good, and the cheesecake was real creamy. It had a nice graham cracker crust to it, so it was a delicious dessert. And then we also got the chocolate custard with the raspberry to share, and it was delicious. It was kind of like a thick chocolate pudding. It was so good. It was very just very warm. It was good. It was very creamy. So those were definitely, the desserts were delicious. They were a perfect cap to the dinner. We definitely really enjoyed getting to share a couple of things and getting to try some new things on our first meal. It was definitely a great way to welcome us aboard and to kick off this week. So we really enjoyed our dinner, and then after dinner we went and we just kind of hung out a little bit. We kept exploring the ships some more. We played a couple of the games that they had going on, and then and we went to the shops. The shops were open at that point. We got a couple of souvenirs for the trip. After that, it was time to go to the show. They had a welcome aboard show. It was J.R. McCullen. He was a comedian, and he was really funny. He was a great act to welcome everybody onto the ship. So it was really a lot of fun just to get to hear him and get just to experience that first show in the theater, and just to enjoy being with other people. We were excited when we went in there. We went in pretty close to the time that it was starting, around 9:15. But we were glad when we went in there that one of those little love seats was available, so we were able to grab that and just get cuddled up and just enjoy the show on the ship. And it was cool. That was the first time we also got to see our cruise director, Talita. She is great. She is really pretty and fabulous in her dresses and her heels. She definitely helped us just to kick off the week on the ship, and we're looking forward to all the activities that she's got planned for us this week as well. And then after dinner, we went over to where they have the shopping areas, and they were having a little raffle, and so we were able to get a couple of tickets for that and to wait and see if we might get pulled. And unfortunately we didn't win that one, but it was still fun just to be a part of the group and to get to just experience that activity on the ship. And then once we finished with the raffle, it was getting pretty late, so we were getting pretty tired and kind of ready to start heading back and getting ready for bed. And so we came back to our cabin, and we both love to be organized, and so it was kind of driving us crazy just having all of our luggage and everything just in the cabin, especially since it's such a small area. So we decided to spend a little time last night just kind of getting settled in and moved into our room. And so we just spent a little time hanging up our clothes in the closet and putting things in drawers. And we really feel like this room, even though it's pretty small, there's quite a bit of storage in here. There were several hangers. We were both able to hang up pretty much all of our clothes for the week, being able to try to get the wrinkles out of those from our luggage. And then we were able to fit most of our clothing and toiletries and accessories and all of that into the drawers and the cabinets and everything. So we really feel like there's a lot of great storage opportunities in here. And then something that I read online when we were planning for our trip that I thought would be a really great thing, and actually turned out to be really good for us, is purchasing little magnetic hooks that are on just Amazon that you can order. And we were able to stick those onto the walls in our cabin since they are magnetic, and that allowed us to be able to hang up things like baseball hats. I've got my purse and my beach bag hanging up, so definitely for a little bit of additional storage space, that's really helpful and really nice to be able to have a place to put all of those things as well, so you're not having to leave them on your little couch or put them on the floor or anything like that. It really helps to be able to have additional storage in your room since it is so small. And so we were able to get everything unloaded and put away, so we definitely feel a little more moved in for the week. We definitely feel like we're not going to be just tripping over suitcases. We thankfully were able to slide both of our empty suitcases underneath the bed. There's just enough room there to be able to put those in, so that really allowed us to be able to just get those out of the way, so we're not going to be tripping on them, and we'll just be able to have that space throughout the week and have everything put away so we can enjoy our time here on the ship. And after we got everything unpacked, the last thing that we did was take a shower and get ready for bed and everything. Of course, being on a cruise ship, they don't have a lot of extra room in your stateroom, and especially in the bathrooms. So it is very small, it's very tight. The shower is one of the smallest showers ever. There's literally just enough room to do what you need to do and get out. So that was definitely an adventure last night. They do have, at least in our cabin on this ship, they have just shower curtains instead of an enclosed shower door. So that was definitely difficult. It kind of clings to you while you shower, and it's definitely not the best. It didn't really keep the water in. The floor in the bathroom was completely soaked by the time we were done. But at least it's a shower. The pressure was good, the water was warm, so at least that was nice, and just enough to keep you clean through the week and just have a place to shower and clean up from the day. So we got all ready for bed and got some sleep last night. We were really grateful that we did purchase some cruise approved fans off of Amazon, and Dylan had one of them on our little table here pointed at the bed, and then the other one we did use one of our magnetic hooks and hung it on the wall. At some point during the night, the charge ran out on one of them, but the other one we had plugged in all night, so definitely it was nice to be able to plug that in. There aren't a lot of outlets in here. There's only just a couple that are on the vanity. There were none by the bed. There aren't any in the bathroom, so definitely it's limited on that. So we're having to take turns charging phones, charging fans, things like that. But it is nice to have a couple of outlets that we can use just to be able to do those things. So we got some rest last night, and then we are getting ready for today, day 2. And today is a day at sea, so we're just going to be on the ship today. We're just going to do a little bit more exploring, see what activities they've got going on. The first thing we're getting ready right now to go to do is go to breakfast, of course, and we're probably just going to go over to the Windjammer and just grab some buffet breakfast, and we're really excited to try that out. And then tonight is the first Dress Your Best night, so it will be a formal night, so we've got some nice outfits. We're gonna go and take some pictures and just enjoy a really nice dinner. It'll be the Taste of France, so it'll be a real nice fancy evening. We're really looking forward to that. And then the show is actually a Broadway style show called Broadway Rhythm and Rhyme. We are hoping that it has some nods towards New York. We went to New York last year and we really loved it. We went last year for our 4th anniversary, and so it was a great experience. We really enjoyed it, and it was something that we really enjoyed sharing together. So we're really hoping there's some New York aspects of this show. We just think that'll be really cool and something we'll really connect to. So we are really looking forward to, especially this evening, but just really the whole day, just being on the ship, getting to really enjoy it and explore it, and really getting to just enjoy the hot tubs, the pools, all of that, and really get into just that beachy vacation mode this week. We are all ready to go. I'm gonna throw on some jewelry. I'll be back in just a minute and we'll just close out the video, and then we are looking forward to today on the ship. And we are getting ready to get going for today. We are so excited. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, just getting ready with me today for day 2 of our cruise. And I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What do you like to do when you're on a cruise? Definitely some of our favorite things are eating and relaxing, but I'd love to hear from you and just hear what your favorite things are. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see more videos from this Chatty Get Ready With Me cruise series, then please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well, so you'll be notified when the additional videos have been uploaded. Until next time, let's be kind to each other, beautiful to ourselves, and never afraid to make up the rules.